Recently, I've been in the mood to revisit the black-white Repartee deck, and that's what I'm going to be doing in today's video. I believe I have here an updated, more refined list of the Repartee mechanic, and it should perform a little bit better than the original list that I played just about a month ago now. So we're going to talk a little bit about the deck and then hop into some games as usual to see how it performs. And I guess we'll start off by talking about the creatures. We're still playing 3 of the creatures from the first iteration of this deck. We have 4 copies of the Lecturing Scorn Mage, a fantastic 1 CMC creature. If you get this thing out early, it's not uncommon to see this thing get up to like a 3/3, 4/4, 5/5 within just the first few turns of the game. Then the Informed Inkwright. This is the card that I believe is actually still the best card in the deck. It is insane how wide this card can go with creature tokens if it isn't immediately answered by the opponent. And it works so incredibly well with the next card, the Stirring Hopesinger. Originally, I only had 3 copies of this card in the first iteration of this deck. We have since gone up to 4 copies of the Hopesinger because it is able to put just so much power onto the board with its repartee ability. And with the Inkwright in the deck, I think you just have to have 4 of each and hope things work out for you. The 2 new cards in the creature slots are the Elite Interceptor. This was one of the ones that was recommended over Cecil by a lot of people who watched the original video. This thing's great. It's just a 1/2 for 1, so an okay creature body, but it has the Sorcery Rejoinder attached to it as its prepared spell. You may tap or untap target creature and draw a card. So it triggers Repartee, and it also draws a card. What's not to like about that? And then the new card that I have seen popping up in a few other repartee lists, the one that I'm very interested to see how it's going to actually work out, is the Iron Shield Elf. A 3/1 for 2, discard a card. This creature gains indestructible until the end of turn, and of course you tap it. Now, the discarding a card does suck, but usually we have maybe extra lands that we can discard, or we have 2 cards in the deck that are okay to discard. The first one being the Dig Site Inventory. This has flashback, so yes, you're losing the ability of initially casting this, but if you're saving one of your creatures and you can still cast it for its flashback, it's not such a big deal. And then, of course, Practice Offense. We were playing 4 copies of Practice Offense. This card has been continuously impressing me in so many decks. Throwing this into the graveyard is not a big deal because it actually has a reduced cost on its flashback. Again, same thing. You always want to be able to cast it out for its initial cost and then get the benefit of playing it for its flashback. But in a pinch, it's not such a bad thing to be doing. So I think our creatures are looking okay, playing 20 creatures in total. Then, as far as the spells go, like I mentioned, we have Practiced Offense, Dig Site Inventory, fantastic card because of the flashback, and we have Honor, this thing putting a +1/+1 counter on target creature and drawing us a card. Dig Site Inventory and Honor in particular, I think, are going to be very good with the Iron Shield Elf. I'm a little bit concerned that the Iron Shield Elf not having any kind of evasion, like flying or trample, is going to mean that it's just going to continually be chump blocked. But if the opponent is spending time putting creatures underneath the Iron Shield Elf, maybe we can win by having a wide board in the sky of a whole bunch of 1/1 Inkling creature tokens. Then we have a little bit of removal, Erode in the 1 slot, and Requiting Hex. I think Erode's going to be interesting. Of course, we can clear the way of any creature that the opponent puts onto the field. It just removes whatever. And often we are aggressive enough to not really worry about the advantage that the opponent's going to be getting from that land that comes from the Erode. We can also use this on our creatures. We are creating a whole bunch of 1/1 Inklings, so maybe in a pinch, we might want to throw the Erode onto one of those tokens, get a land, and probably trigger more Inklings because of the Repartee. And Requiting Hex is always good. And the last card is the Killian's Confidence. Only 2 copies of it because this thing does have a recursive ability on it. It does come back from the graveyard. If we deal combat damage to a player, we can pay either a white or a black, and it returns. So that is the deck. We're going to hop into some games and see how it performs and hope that Repartee impresses in this one. See you over there. All right, Repartee time. Repartee. I don't know. In best of 1 standard. I'm excited to get back to this deck. This is one that I've actually been waiting to revisit. It is a very cool mechanic, but I think people were a little bit lukewarm on it. I thought more people were going to be excited for Repartee, and then maybe the deck just didn't perform quite as well as it needed to really encourage people to want to explore it or get into the deck. but I still quite like it. And I'm at the point where I don't care. I'm just gonna record it. You know, hopefully some people will like seeing this deck one more time, but we'll see. We'll see. Frenzied Baloth from the opponent, Julio over there. It's a cool card. I love it. So we now have a choice. Do we go Hopesinger and gear up for a pretty good turn next turn, or do I go with triggering the Repartee? And I kind of think I'm just going to go Hopesinger, hope for the huge upside of making a whole bunch of Inklings with the Inkwright and then loading them up with this. If we draw a land next turn, like, there's a lot of stuff we can do. Didn't expect Outcaster Trailblazer. That was not on my list of cards to come out of a Frenzied Baloth list. And I'm super fine with this. We're going to gain back quite a bit of life from the Stirring Hopesinger. So we can try to draw a card with the Rejoinder. Tap down the Outcaster Trailblazer. I think that's maybe okay. Hopefully get a land here. Yep. It's a land. It's huge. It is huge. So then we do this on this because I want to draw, or I want to gain some life. And then do I just put that on there one more time? Or I don't think they're going to be able to kill me next turn, and we are 1 point of damage short of killing them. They still have a pretty nasty board that they have to deal with 3 mana. Cool, cool, cool. That's what we want to do. We want to find opponents that can't contest the air or take out our Informed Inkwright, and then we're just going to roll over them. Got a little bit lucky with that land draw from the Rejoinder, but sometimes you got to get lucky, right? Well, if I can do that like 9 more times, that's going to be pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Iron Shield Elf, what do you think? Is this worth having in the deck? I've been going back and forth on it. I don't know. In ways it has impressed me. However, there are still like destroy effects. There are plenty of destroy effects that deal with it, and that's what we're trying to avoid or get around, sure. And they're going to have removal for my poor Lecturing Scorn Mage, aren't they? Like, there's no way they just let that thing live. So I'm just going to put out the Interceptor for now. We're not really pumping up the Scorn Mage yet. So I'm going to wait until later on when I can try to get it up to a 3/3/4/4, which will be a little bit harder for them to deal with. The Iron Shield Elf, yeah, sometimes it's very hard for the opponent to remove, but then there's things like Sheltered by Ghost or any other number of things where they just bounce it, for example. People can deal with the Iron Shield Elf is my point. So, I don't know. Okay, well, speaking of Iron Shield Elf, we're going to go out with it one more, and hopefully the opponent's not going to have an immediate answer for it. If they have another Sheltered by Ghost, this Stadium Headliner is going to be very hard to deal with. Black mana. Wind Crag Siege, naming Guy. So at the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. It gains lifelink and haste until the end of the turn. They cannot attack in here. That would be very poor choice. Okay, they pass the turn. I did not expect that. Well, so Requiting Hex does let me just get rid of the Stadium Headliner right now. However, it doesn't benefit me because I don't have the Lecturing Scorn Mage on the field or other Repartee things. So the choice that I have, the line that I have here is I can put out Iron Shield Elf and Lecturing Scorn Mage and wait until the next turn to do these. Or I just smoke the Stadium Headliner now. Now, this is kind of removal because they can sacrifice. They're not going to sacrifice it. Opponent says, your go. I'm sorry, opponent. You know what? Let's... Oh, man, it's such a tricky spot. What are you doing here? What? You know what? I'm going to go against... I think my original judgment was I was going to do the Requiting Hex, but I'm going to go this way. And there's no reason not to attack in here. If they want to trade off Stadium Headliner, they can do that. We still have the other Iron Shield Elf that I can very easily throw underneath the Stadium Headliner. And give it indestructible, of course. Probably. throwing away I didn't mention that Killian's Confidence is also a really good card to throw into the graveyard because it does have that recursive aspect to it. All right. So they don't do anything. But from here, I guess it's probably just requiting Hex on the Stadium Headliner. We get back our Elite Interceptor. I could, though, just go Practiced Offense, pump up the team. I think it's this way, though. Okay. We'll get rid of it. I have a feeling that they're going to react. They're going to try to kill my Lecturing Scorn Mage here, which I guess is fine. It's fine. So now the question is going to be, do I want to throw the Iron Shield Elves into the mix against this 1/1 Goblin? I think the answer is no, because next turn we're going to pump them up to 1/1s. With this, if I draw a land, I can maybe go Practice Offense plus Practice Offense. I don't think I would do that because these things are just going to get chump blocked. It doesn't give trample. But we're going to have to fight through. The opponent says lands, am I right? They are flooding out. Ew, okay, well, I don't... that was bad. That was actually a legitimate bad game. I don't get those very often where it's just like, the opponent was probably doing something kind of interesting. They obviously flooded out. Probably have 2 or 3 more lands in their hand right now. And I don't know. I think we had some weird choices that we had to make. They weren't exactly optimal either. It was a bad game. But you know what? You still take those wins because sometimes on the arena, you need wins like that. This hand's okay. We got our 1, 2, 3 for creatures, and we have obviously Practice Offense, which is insane. But what we want to see is maybe something like a Dig, Site, Inventory, or Honor. Something that will allow us to maybe trigger the Hopesinger a few more times. Also, mana base, a little bit awkward. I'm going to have to take some damage from the Godless Shrine if I want to put out the Interceptor on turn 1, which I think I do. Humans. Ooh. Okay. Concealed Courtyard coming in to save my life. Can't complain about that, I suppose. Also gives us another land that maybe I can end up throwing away for the Iron Shield Elf. Seat Time Duress. Okay, Practiced Offense going into the graveyard, but it's fine in the graveyard. And we find yet another Hopesinger. So I guess it's going to be the Hopesinger game. See how much we can pump up our team with those things. Are we against a Kavaro Deceit type deck? That's what this kind of feels like, especially now with this Mistrise Village. I don't know how good the Iron Shield Elf's going to be because Deceit can just bounce it. Sure. Shoot the Sheriff on the Rejoinder means probably that they have plenty more removal. Our deck is giving us a bunch of lands, but hey, they're down to 14 right now. If they don't answer these 2 creatures with Practiced Offense coming down the pipeline next turn, that is 12 points of damage. If I'm no more than that, 13. Okay. Well, we can kind of just roll over the Steam Core Scholar. It's a little awkward because we're going to be losing Double Strike benefits. It's been a long time since I've seen Steam Core Scholar as well. I feel like this card just kind of fell off a little bit. So what do we want to see? Dig Site Inventory, something like that. Elite Interceptor is not bad. So what this does is I can put this out and then cast the Practiced Offense. And it will end up pumping up the... Yeah, I like this. It'll end up pumping up the Elite Interceptor quite a bit. Put it up to a 2/4. Who do I want the damage on? I think I just want it here. We'll give double strike. I don't need lifelink. And it just means that they have to put it underneath. They have to put the Steam Core Scholar underneath it. The opponent with nothing again? What is happening? Am I just being blessed this morning with the luck of the MTG gods? It sure seems that way, doesn't it? But in that last game, I think the opponent was in a tough spot. They were going to have to give up their 1 blocker. They probably didn't have a sweeper in hand, and I don't think they had anything in their graveyard to help them. I think this is too slow. Yeah, we got to throw this one back. Iron Shield Elf plus Honor. Okay. Throw away the swamp and let's pray that the honors can draw us into something great. Isn't this some of this like the best art? It's so good. Now, here's the bad part. Ooh, Iron Shield Elf number 3. Full house of honor and Iron Shield Elves. If we do have to protect the Iron Shield Elf by giving it indestructible, it's going to suck to have to throw away some of these cards. I suppose it's fine to throw away the Iron Shield Elf, but I would prefer not to. Brash Astronaut. Surely the opponent does not come in with the higher claw. If they do come in with one of the higher claws, I'm going to block it. Yeah. But we don't find our land. There's our land. I think the opponent's going to have a really hard time getting rid of a 5/3. So we're just going to do this. Can you believe I drew all 4 in the top 10 cards of my library? All 4 Iron Shield Elves were just hanging out. Oh, somebody math that for me. How often does it happen where you find all 4 of them? They're going to get speed 2. And I assume they're coming in this time because we don't really have good block. Ooh. Okay, with that Bolt Wave number 2, I don't think I would have fired off that Bolt Wave. What I would have done is attacked in with a higher claw. With 2 mana open, it meant that I wasn't able to really block with the Elite Interceptor. But now, with only 1 mana available to them, I do have a bit of a free block here. And they could have just fired off the Bolt Wave second main phase. But if they were planning on just doing turn inside out, I mean, that's that. I think we need practiced offense. Practiced offense gets me back in this game. No practice offense, and I am in trouble. Okay, so we're at kind of like 5 with the higher claws getting guaranteed damage in. The Hopesinger will be good for the following turn for lifelink. I think I just have to put out the Hopesinger. I have to hope that the opponent doesn't have an insane card back, and this next card that they drew was hopefully not insane. That's not great for them. And I just gotta hope that the Hopesinger works out. What? Like, there are so many good cards. Anything that allows us to pump up the Hopesinger is going to be great. Honor, or especially Dig Site Inventory. Oh boy, getting so many off will be great. We're going to do Rejoinder. Let's tap down. Doesn't matter. Pumps the Hopesinger. We still have a draw here. Worst case scenario, I put out the Interceptor. Land. I guess in that case, I'm going to put out the Iron Shield Elf. Is it Iron Shield Elf, or is it going to be... No, it's going to be Iron Shield Elf. And the next turn, I can go Interceptor plus Rejoinder one more time if I really need to. But this gets me up to 9. I still have 3 blockers back, and they're pretty good blockers. The opponent grew very badly last turn with that 4th land. We kind of need them to whiff one more time. We need this Hopesinger to get 3 or 4 power, and then I don't think they'll be able to overcome the amount of life gain that I'm going to be getting each turn. Okay, opponent's coming in. They're sending in the team. I appreciate it, opponent. What are you doing with all of this damage that's coming? We're going to be, I think, blocking like this and then double blocking on the Bastronaut. I would rather allow them to, pump up this to a 2/3. It's not a big deal. I don't want this getting double strike because that gets, eventually if this has max speed and double strike, it's going to be a lot harder to deal with. Okay, so they use their mana there. They still have 2 cards in hand. I am going to throw away one of the Iron Shield Elves. It's fine. I'd rather keep this one on the field. Okay, go to damage. Boom, boom, boom. Down to 5. They could have Bolt Wave, Bolt Wave. Bolt Wave Shock. Bolt Wave Burst Lightning. Really any number of things. That is a play. Okay. We miss on a good sorcery or instant speed spell, but we can still play out the Rejoinder. So the Rejoinder says you may tap or untap creatures. So we would still target whatever. It doesn't really matter. We target the Elite Interceptor. We choose not to untap or tap it. It's fine. We draw a card. It's going to pump everything up. We're going to go back up to 6 life. If we end up finding a 1 CMC spell, we would go up to 7 life. Like it just, maybe even 8. Could have been good. But yeah, taking down, that's 4-0. Let's go. EBB 90 is our 5th opponent, and things have been going well. I will say though, kind of lucky in a lot of ways. Opening hand looks fine. We actually have a lot of creatures, only 1, kind of 2 spells. So in that case, are we just throwing out the Lecturing Scorn Mage, hoping it draws a little bit of heat? I would really like to keep the Informed Inkwright on the field. So if this ends up eating or requiting Hex, it's not the biggest problem, because then the requiting Hex is not killing this thing. Hey, it's landfall. But we're gonna have to go like super wide, super fast against landfall, and I'm not really sure I'm going to be able to do that. Oh, I hate landfall. It's the last video that I recorded was the Yuna video that came out on Monday, and I'm pretty sure like the games that I lost were just the games where my opponents were playing landfall. Always landfall problems. Ambitious Augmenter. That's cool. Duress for the honor. Oh man, it hurts. I needed that. I needed that so badly. All right, so okay. Hopesinger to the field. We attack in with just the Informed Inkwright. There's no way they block it. They go down to 17, and then worst case scenario, Interceptor next turn, we can use the Rejoinder. Draw a card, pump up the boys, make an Inkling. It's not the worst case scenario, but they are playing black, so I should expect them to probably have some way of dealing with the Hopesinger. Just gotta hope it survives. Mutagen Man for the full mana available to them. And they get the free trigger there, or free crack on the mutagen token to go up to a 3/3. Lillian's Confidence is pretty great. It's better than Interceptor, right? So what we will do here is Confidence. Oh, I'm dumb. I should have put out the Elite Interceptor. Road. Nope, okay. So I ended up not getting punished, I suppose. So we're going to go in with the full team. There's no way they block anything. And then what we're going to do is return the Killian's Confidence for 1 mana. And then hold up the Erode to wipe out whatever thing they put in the way. Professor Delian fell. Good. Wonder if they're swinging in, though. This does kill Planeswalker. They destroy my Hopesinger. So we're going to go after the Mutagen Man. Pump up the team, make another baby, put it up to a 2/2. It's so good. I just can't get over when you have these 2 cards on the field, Hopesinger and Inkwright. It just feels like you can't lose in a lot of cases. And there is it doesn't matter. We probably what would have been better is Elite Interceptor and just tap down the Augmenter and swing in for more than enough damage. Keep going. Oh man, I don't want to jinx. I don't want to say anything. The deck's running really well. You got to be happy every time you throw something together and things are actually ticking well. You know, obviously good news. Blossoming Sands, did not expect to see that card. So is the opponent doing some kind of desert shenanigans? I guess this is not a desert. Maybe it's just a budget deck. No sleeves. It's fine. Gene Pollinator. They got their Badger Mole Cub coming pretty soon, you got to imagine. So from here, I would love to take out the Gene Pollinator, but I think I just put out the Inkwright and then hope that we can get more value in the future. If they end up throwing down the Badger Mole Cub here, I might regret things. Etched Corn. You know what? This is it's not a bad card. I have no idea what's going on anymore. Phoenix down. Exile this card. They can exile target skeleton, spirit, or zombie. Those things have no power here. We miss on our lands, but I suppose what we do is we just Kill this. And then we get in as much damage as we can. Make a couple of 1/1s. I mean, this, you know, take them down to 15. That's a pretty good attack there. We do have a tremendous amount of damage for the following turn with the dig site inventories. It'd be nice to draw land. If we draw land within the next 2 turns, maybe we spend a turn pumping up things and then we finish them off with the practiced offense when we have 4 or 5 inklings in the sky. Or Boride, good. Not really going to be enough. We didn't find it again, but you know what? It's fine just to go like this. It's going to be very, very hard for the opponent to stay alive here. Yeah, let's use the one in the graveyard. Doesn't matter. See, we're doing all of this with just 2 mana. Going in for 11 points of damage. Do they just take the full brunt of this? They're down to 2 cards in hand. It just feels right, doesn't it? Or Boride, great card. Thankfully, the opponent was a little bit slow with these tap lands. Maybe it would have been a different story had they had non-budgetary lands. Trapped in the Screen, though, gets rid of... Doesn't matter. This is just going to eat up... What do they eat here? Yeah. Absolutely impressive. I really wish I could have drawn another land or another card so to see... Wish I could have drawn another card to see if I would have drawn a land. Got there. So I could have done the practiced offense. If that were the case, next turn we have 8 damage in the sky. Actually more, because give one of them double strike, 10 damage in the sky. A lot with 2 lands. So when am I going to meet my match? Is it against Mr. Carva? Is it Mr. Carver? Is that what the name's supposed to be? Mr. Carva? This is awkward. I'm a little bit, now that I've been playing the deck more and more, I kind of wonder if I should be putting Starting Town into the deck. Because, sometimes having just the basic lands has been a little bit annoying when we're sitting here with a lot of 1 CMC things that need very specific mana to cast out. Obviously, 1 CMC. Yeah. And again, we're in the same spot that we were in the last game where we just need to find a land. By the way, isn't this cool? This is the card back from the season pass. I think it looks pretty neat. Essence Chandler going to be a problem. I think we might... Oh, okay. We get kind of saved here. It sucks that I have to do this. But I have to. Right? What choice do I really have? This Essence Chandler can't get too out of control. We take them down to 20. They're going to go back up to 22 with this Runelurker Bat, though. And we just got to hope they don't have continually good follow-ups. We need a land so badly. No, you don't kill the Elite Interceptor. Is that what they're thinking about doing? Is the -2 on a Johnny? You make a 1/1. Oh, boy. Okay. I guess it's fine. Why don't you attack? Okay. Things are going poorly. The deck has finally said, you know what? You're right. You are running too hot. I am not allowing you to continue going 6-0, 7-0. We had the 7-0 dream alive, and now we're going to lose to Life Gain because we're sitting here with 3 CMC cards and a top 11 this time, and we find 4 Hopesingers with 3 or with 2 mana available, not 3 mana. We are so screwed. Oh, okay. They're just gonna keep pumping a Johnny, spewing out 1/1s. Shelter by Ghost to take out the Iron Shield Elf. This was not our game to win. This was the opponent's blessing. To be fair, we were running hot with a lot of stuff. There were a few games where we probably shouldn't have won it. And we're going to see one more card here just to see if we find the land. But this is well and truly over. Even with a land, there's basically nothing I can do here. GG lands, am I right, opponent? We drop game number 7. The 7-0 dream down the drain. Thank you, deck. Hey man, sometimes these Magic decks, they're just like, I'm tired, boss. They just lay down in the street and do nothing. How do y'all feel about Life Gain? Is that a deck that you've been trying? Have you gone back to Life Gain at some point? Yikes. We're playing a 2-color deck, right? All right, that's a little bit better. Uh, is it throw away the erode? Just pray that the opponent doesn't have something that I need to erode. Okay, maybe we were fine throwing that away. But yeah, lifelink. Do you? It's been called like the deck that new players play. That kind of idea. That's the reputation that it has. I like it. I play lifelink from time to time. Ooh, we're against skeletons, so the opponent's definitely gonna have interaction for us. They're gonna have actually ways of killing the Iron Shield Elf, 100%. But I think I need to put it out anyways. The way they kill the Iron Shield Elf is with the -3/-3, nowhere to run, I think is what it's called. They will certainly have that. I've actually been kind of itching to play this deck one more time. But the problem is I've played so many Corpses of the Lost decks. Like, do I really need to play one more? Well, we do this, right? And we throw away that. I'm sure it's fine. Get rid of their 3/2, mitigate a little bit of damage. And okay, the confidence is really good. So next turn, if we end up drawing a land, what we can do is Inkwright plus Killian's confidence and kind of make quite the board. They haven't shown us any kind of interaction yet. Just another Corpse of the Lost. I mean, that's a lot of damage coming in. That's going to be 8 points of damage on my face. Don't like that. But hopefully we can get back some of that with the Hopesinger. So do I do Rejoinder or do I do Killian? I think I do Killian's confidence and then I bring it back to my hand, right? Okay. Elite Interceptor is not bad. I think I would rather... So this brings me up to 12, which is not a healthy spot to be. I honestly think I can't even attack in with those two creatures. I'm just going to attack in with the Hopesinger and still bring back Killian's confidence and hope that this ends up working out. Next turn, we can gain 4 more life with the Hopesinger. Hopefully they don't have the 4 CMC dig into their library card. I can't remember what it's called. It's been too long since I played it. But they do have another menacing attacker. That's not great. Wow. Everything on the field. Okay. All right, opponent. I appreciate what you've done here. We desperately need help. I don't even know. So am I blocking? I think what I'm doing is I'm blocking like this. These things do have menace, right? Yeah, haste and menace. Try to get rid of one of the hasty boys. We are definitely going to be throwing away the Interceptor. I think I need the Inkwright because I need to start making 2s. Down to 3. Feels bad. Dang, that's not... It's actually... it's not the worst card. I think I have to do it, right? Stirring Hopesinger Part 2. So we are going up to 7. I was going to be super happy with that block. Okay, we need the opponent to kind of whiff here. Draw a land, please. Please draw a land. Because we cannot take that much damage. If they have another hasty skeleton, I think I'm probably dead. Sure. Okay, they drew a land. So maybe we can sneak it out here. They're going to hold back the 2/1 though. So maybe a road or something off the top could help me win the game. The one creature that they have to hold back is the 2/1, right? Now, this skeleton cannot block because it is suspected. So suspected means that has menace and can't block is the idea. So they are going to come in with it. Do I take the 6 damage? Do I take 6 damage here? Or do I... My goodness, this is tough. So next turn, they have 3 blockers. If I attack all out, only one of them is getting through. It's not going to be good enough. I can't do 8 damage. I kind of think that I have to actually block here. I have to do like this. But the problem with this is that it actually gives them the case of the stash skeleton thing. So maybe I just actually no block, go down to... It's so crazy. Okay, no block. Let's go down to 1. It's so risky. Land is bad. It's so bad. Okay. Hopesinger. We need to gain a little bit of life here, which are, and we're going to make another 2-2. It's actually going to be a 3-3 this time around. Oh. What a top deck from our deck. GG, opponent. I am sorry. That is insane. We found the absolute nuts off the top of our library with that requiting hex. Sometimes dreams do happen. And we're back on the winning train. Let's go, baby. Taking down skeletons. That Skeletons deck is very real. If you can play Repartee, I don't know. It's Repartee, right? And beat the Skeletons deck. Oh, there's something to it. Hopesinger, you're great. 2 more games left in me. We'll see if we can keep this on going. We are bumping along, and it brings up a question in my mind. I don't do this anymore. When I first came back, there were a few times when I put out a thumbnail or in the title, you know, this deck has a 90% win rate, something like that. But it has been a very long time since I have done that kind of like advertising. I don't know how you want to really call it, but I don't do it anymore because I find it to be disingenuous. Sometimes good runs happen. Right now, this Repartee deck is on a hot run. It doesn't typically run this well, but we are having a good time. We are running very nicely, although we're not drawing a land now, which is a bit of a problem. But how do you all feel about YouTubers, specifically obviously Magic the Gathering YouTubers, who put in their thumbnails like, this deck has a win rate. Am I throwing away the Iron Shield Elf or the... We're against a Reanimator deck, so maybe I need to go wide. Yeah, we'll throw away the Iron Shield Elf. A little bit sucky here because I can't get in for any damage. Oh, I needed to land there so badly. Okay. We'll still put the dig site inventory on this so we have a 5-3 for the next turn. But yeah, do you find it off-putting? Do you find it draws your attention? See, that's the thing. I know a lot of people will put that into their title because it does draw the eye. There's no doubt about that, right? Hopesinger? Let's try to get in for 5 damage. Bitter Triumph number 2. They take 3. You know, hey, this Iron Shield Elf may not be getting in, but it's still doing damage. We are going to put out the Inkwright, and I am going to take the risk of putting the dig site inventory out now. I think it's fine. They're dead next turn to the practiced offense. If they don't do anything big here, they don't have anything in the graveyard to reanimate. Discard 2 cards, draw a card. That's insane. But yeah, let me know I would love to hear some input on that whole thing. Is it a thing that you find annoying? Is it a thing that you don't really care about? Does it draw your attention? Should I do it? Actually, don't tell me if I should do it or not. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do it, but it is, you know, you have the thought. Okay. So Reanimator deck, what, Max, what were you reanimating, dude? Why did you take 6 points of damage? Why did you help me? Did they need to take all that damage for me to win there? What are they at? They're at 5. Yikes. Last one, Sky Temple is our final opponent. Repartee deck tearing up this format, carrying me through. Okay, so we're going to go Informed Inkwright into Hopesinger into Honor. The opponent is not going to have a single piece of interaction, and we're going to live another dream like this deck has been living. All right. Green, mono green. Mono green means no interaction. Unfortunately, white, white, white. Swamp. Not great. We need to find like a requiting hex or something like that. Also, that's ramp. I don't like that ramp. Okie dokie. Well, sticking to the plan. Hopesinger to the field, and next turn we can actually go potentially Hopesinger into honor. If we find a land. Oh boy, okay. Opponent has a little bit of mana now. Just attack in. Pass the turn. What are you gonna do for 5 mana? Right? Nothing. Don't even. Okay, another. Oh, we're gonna get crater hoofed. That's what's gonna happen. This is lame. They have so much mana. Oh my god, it's so much mana. And we didn't draw what we needed. Okay. It's fine. Land, please. No, yikes. Not that land. Not that land. We're so dead. We're so dead. Oh, what did I say? What did I say about... I think this is fine. About basic lands being a problem, and that I should probably have starting town in this deck. It might be one of the main upgrades, the first upgrades that I should probably do. Here comes old Crater Hoof. I'm already ready. I got my pen. I'm already ready to go over and put the old X. Oh, the opponent has a measly 21 points of mana. 21 mana. Sure. What did they hit? They hit Studious First Years. All 3 of them, according to this. I'm scared to click on this. Let's just let it all happen. They're going to flop everything onto the board, and we're dead. It's pretty fun to watch. What a way to go out. Sky Temple, kaboom. Honestly, it's not that scary. I mean, unfortunately, the Leyline Weavers have reach. So we're never going to get through this. But there's the Behemoth. They'll be able to cast out the Behemoth on the following turn. That was sometimes degeneracy, absolute degeneracy happens. I've been playing a lot of Badger Mole Cub. I feel like I've been playing Badger Mole Cub. Oh, I hate you. I hate you. I don't think it would have mattered, but I hate you. I've been playing a lot of Badger Mole Cub. It's fun. I'm just doing this. The opponent's doing their thing. I'm gonna do my thing. This is pretty good. It's not like this is not bad. It's pretty pitiful when you put it up against what the opponent just did. But we still get to attack in. GG opponent. You know what? I'm gonna let them do the Crater Hoof. Sky Temple. I imagine a lot of opponents don't allow you to slam down your Crater Hoof Behemoth. I'm going to be the nice guy, and I'm going to let you absolutely have your way with old Killian here. Hey, that's a good opponent throwing down the Crater Hoof without messing around, and they're gonna hit me for like 2,000 damage. No blocks. 80% win rate. Not bad. Not bad. What? They're not even gonna make it to 1,000? Okay, they hit 1,000. Not even 2,000 damage on turn 5. What is this? What are we doing here? All right, so I'm having fun with this Repartee deck. I think it's looking pretty good, better than it used to look. So the big things that are cut or changed from the deck is that the original build of the deck was playing cards. I guess I can just do it like that, like Enter the Avatar State or Restoration Magic. These instances and sorcery speed things that were either giving indestructible or hexproof. And I kind of felt like, yeah, you know what? That's good and all, but we don't really need that. It's kind of a wasted card to be sitting there anticipating your opponent playing a Requiting Hex or something. Just put the cards on the field. They get removed. They get removed. You know, it is what it is. Just be a more offensive, all in on the strategy type of game plan. It's best of one after all. It's goofy. I still don't know how I feel about Iron Shield Elf. One other card that I was looking at for this deck was this one here, Scheming Silver Tongue. Now, it does have a sorcery prepared side, Sign in Blood, and that's fantastic. We can draw a couple of cards, lose 2 life, not a big deal, but it doesn't target something. However, Scheming Silvertongue is a flying lifelinking creature. It's a 1/3. 1/3 is a great body because it gets around Burst Lightning, for example. I don't know if I would want to do maybe a 2 and 2 split because the Iron Shield Elf was doing some pretty cool stuff, but it still does just get chump blocked quite a bit. I don't know. Maybe we also want to go a little bit bigger, bring in something like an Abigail. It also has the prepared side. Yeah, there are choices. I think we haven't quite figured out where to go with this deck, but this is starting to feel a little bit closer to where I want to be with this deck. A lot of the creatures in here are good. Elite Interceptor, it's fine. I think it's good for a 1-drop, maybe in the future, in future sets before Repartee rotates in like 3 or 10 years. Who knows what it's going to be? Maybe we'll eventually have a better 1 CMC card, but having just a 1/2 body with a spell attached to it is going to be pretty good overall. So yeah, let me know what you think about this current build of the deck and some of the tweaks that could be made. Do you think Iron Shield Elf has a place in the deck, or is it something that could be changed for something else? Is the giving a card indestructible, is that enough of an upside to justify the elf in the deck? That's it for this one, though. Hope you enjoyed those games. A real shame we only went 80%, not 90%. Thank you, Crater Hoof Behemoth. But that's the way the Badger Mole Cub crumbles. Sarang Ipana, and I will see all of you in the next one. Bye-bye.